Welcome to Nevertheless Podcast with Bidemi Mark-Mordi, a show dedicated to organic leaders and leaderpreneurs. Today, you would learn how to discover your essence and live more powerfully.
Hello there. You're welcome to the Nevertheless Show, a show for organic leaders and leaderpreneurs. And I'm really excited as this is the last episode in our Simplify series. And it's been interesting. We've talked about decluttering your mind, using family and work as a means of decluttering. And it's the final episode. And of course, I have with me BMM here in the studio.
Hey, John. I don't think you're half as excited as I am that we're at the end of this series. Yes, it's been an amazing 4 weeks.
Yes.
And we've had feedback. And I'm grateful for all of you who engage on YouTube, especially. Thank you so much. God bless you. Yes, so we are in the final episode. What did I say we'll talk about?
Basically, we're trying to answer questions in this final episode.
Yes, questions you must ask and answer as you embark on the journey to declutter your life. These are not exhaustive, but these are questions that I think if you ask, you may be able to find answers that redirect you so that even if you feel like you are flaying and you're losing your stability, they will restabilize you if you answer these questions. For me, the first question always is, who is my focus? Who is my focus? Not what is my focus. Who is my focus? Because no matter what the overwhelm is, if you have God, you have it all. His word says many times over, I'll never leave you, I'll never forsake you, I'll never leave you, I'll never forsake you. So as hard as it seems right now, if your focus is God, He will hold you. Do you see it?
Yes.
No matter how tired you've gotten, no matter how overwhelmed. He said in, I believe it's Matthew 11:28, where he says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So if you go to God, if you redirect yourself to Him, if you take your eyes off of all the other things and you put your sight or you focus your sight back on Him, the odds are you will do better. So ask yourself, who is my focus? Now, when you ask these questions, this kind of question, the tendency to think, or when I say ask this question, the tendency to think I'm asking you to ask, who else am I looking at? That's not what this is about. This is about, am I focusing really on God? Am I focusing really on God? Who is my focus? Who has me covered? What do I believe has me covered, in this time and in this age? So when overwhelm comes, if you're focused on God, you know without a shadow of doubt that He's your focus, the odds are you will do better. My second question quickly is, what do I value? What do I value? Because sometimes the reason why we face what we face is because we're trying to not just make ends meet. For instance, a father is trying to provide for his household. The reason why you're doing what you do that brings you to overwhelm once in a while is because you have a goal. What do I value? If I value my family, then no sacrifice is too much for me to make in the moment. And if I'm doing what I'm doing for my family, if I let myself go and I lose my mind to overwhelm, who is going to take care of them? Sometimes just knowing what your value or your priority list is, it helps you to keep going. So when it feels really hard, you say, I'm doing this for Kenichi. I'm doing this because of Chidiebele. I'm doing this because I want to leave a legacy for my children. Do you see that? So, ask yourself, what do I value? Do I value good time more than I value my family? So you need to ask and answer that question. The next question, number 3 quickly, is what's the difference between urgent and important? Because a lot of us get overwhelmed because people told us that things are urgent. That are not important. A lot of urgent things that I'm thrown at daily are unimportant. They call you, they're blowing up your phone 15 times in 1 minute. They are trying to reach you. And you pick up the phone and say, I just make I greet you. And you are in a meeting. high-profile meeting. Because of the way the person was calling you, you stepped out. And it felt really urgent. Only for you to say, so I was just calling. I wanted to greet you. What's that? Rule of thumb is if you call 3 times at most and the person doesn't respond within the meeting, send a text or wait. So a lot of us need to know the difference between urgent and important. Because here's the thing, everybody else thinks that what is wrong with them or what they need from you is urgent. They never think within the scheme of things, how does it impact you? Is it important to you? So you need a clear definition of the difference, to know the difference between what is urgent and what is important. And if you do that, who's to tell how far that you will go? Question number 4 quickly is, what gives me joy? Can I do more of that? Because there must be something that just gives you joy. I know this doesn't sound really spiritual to most of you, but I will not compromise my Netflix subscription because it helps me. The white noise, like we said in the first episode, helps me decompress. So when I've had a really, not even tough day, even if my day is just full, when I get home, I want a good meal if I can find it. And hopefully most of the time I can't find it. And I want to have electricity and I want to just click on Netflix, even if it's for 15 minutes. So that's important to me. You get? Yes, and so when it's, there's a standing order to make sure it's paid for. Now, I may not watch the movie from the beginning to the end, right, but it enables and empowers my rejuvenation.
Yes, it does something for you.
Yes, it is important. Now, the question is, can I do more of it? If I do more of it, will I be able to do all the work I'm doing? That's left to be discovered. But yes, everywhere I go, it's the reason why I own an iPad that is big. I don't like the small ones, so that even if I get somewhere and there's no TV, my iPad screen is big enough for me to serve for that purpose. And that automatically means I also do not joke with internet connectivity. It's something that for me, they're tools of my well-being. This is not something that I do because I need to these are tools of my well-being. What gives me joy? Can I do more of it? If a dance class is what gives you joy, by all means, subscribe and go.
Yes.
Do you understand it? If good food is what works for you, please, for my husband, it's good food. Good food works for him. So you can see him, no matter what is at home, he comes in and is carrying all kinds of packages. Good food works for him. But find what you do, not because of obligation, not because, you have to, deal with.
I have to deliver.
Yes. It's not a deliverable. It's your downtime. Find more of that thing and do it. My final question in this particular series is, where is my safe place? When we talked about home, coming home and family, I did say that all of family, that your family doesn't have to be your biological family. But there's some of us who don't even know where we feel safe. So you need to identify, define, discern where you feel safe. And if when you've done all of that, you can't say that this is my safe space, then it means that you have not forged and nurtured the right relationships. So you need to make that a priority right now, to make sure that you forge and you nurture the right relationships that you can feel safe enough to run to when you find yourself in the next round of overwhelm. Because again, whether you like it or not, these things come.
In cycles.
It will always come. If it's not something that is happening with you personally, it might be something that is happening globally, like it is with us now. Or it might even be something that is happening within your nuclear family. Do you see it?
Yes, I do.
So make sure you know where your safe place is, so that you can always run back home. Does this help you?
It makes a lot of sense, especially,
do you have questions?
The last one.
Yes.
You talked about forged relationships. There are some people that I believe I've met some of them. Who can you talk to? Who can you call? What church do you attend? And they don't have a church they attend. They are just on their own. Interestingly, especially a lot of these young people, you see them tell you that nobody in their family knows them. Nobody in their family understands them. So for these people, what practical things can they do to, start changing that, readjusting that?
The key is be who you want others to be to you. Be who you want others to be to you. So if you need a safe space, be a safe space.
For some other people.
Of course, that takes vulnerability, that takes opening up, that takes speaking up. But if you really want to be able to curate a safe space for yourself, then you need to be a safe space for someone. That's the only way it works. So if you feel someone that, we all think ought to be close to you enough to know you doesn't know you, then have conversations that help them know you. Because if you share, then you will give them perspective about who you are. But if you're closed up and all you go is say, oh, they don't really know me, how do you want them to know you if they don't share? If you don't share, yes. Of course, they are not mind readers. So that's my answer for that person.
All right. Thank you very much for that response.
Any other question?
We have a number of questions.
Yes, ask me.
Just before we went on break, I would like to ask this. This is one of the questions we have here. It says, is there a connection between physical decluttering? Right, we've talked about mind, family, work, but is there a place where I need to physically declutter to achieve this kind of simplification?
Yes, every one of us needs to have what I call a happy place, a place where you go and it's your place. You put your favorite things there. If I wanted to go Christian easy, you have to get a prayer closet. But I'm not talking about those, I don't want it to be this heavy. Because don't forget that you are overwhelmed. That's why we're having this conversation. But get a place. And this, for me, it's my bedroom. It's my bedroom. As much as is possible, everything I need for comfort within my bedroom is there. Within what I can afford right now. Yes? So I'm not splurging on these things, but I'm not scringing on them as well. Okay. So if a TV is important to me in my bedroom, for instance, because of my Netflix habit, the TV is big enough. So that if I'm seated on my bed or I'm seated on my couch in my room, I can see it. So yes, declutter. There was a time the couch in my room became my wardrobe. Because I just come back, and then after a while I realized that the reason I put that couch there was so I could sit up and just be me by myself in my room by myself. So I removed out everything that was there. And I'm now I still throw things there sometimes when I come back and I'm tired, but the very next day I make sure I move them out of the place. So sometimes, yes, you need to declutter. Sometimes the things we own overwhelm us. They overwhelm us. And someone might be grinning and say, you especially. But yes, declutter your wardrobe. Sometimes, my coach has told me that sometimes when you declutter your surround, it makes you feel lighter. At the beginning of this year, where did I declutter? My kitchen. I did an audit on my kitchen, my freezers. I came down, I did them. I had them do deep cleaning for me because I wanted to walk into my kitchen and feel like this is a place I want to be. So yes, there is a correlation between your mind and your space. For instance, if you declutter, if you're decluttering, sometimes I sit at my desk and I just feel overwhelmed. Right now, my desk is overwhelming me because I have so many books and journals strewn all over the place. But that's because I'm teaching a lot, so I'm needing to take this and take that and take that. I was telling one of my assistants a few days back that they need to come again and create table of contents for all my journals, the new ones, especially the ones I did in the last 1 year. So that if I need something, I can easily find it rather than have to offload everything that I own. You see, but sometimes when I sit at my desk, I feel the overwhelm because there are stacks of books and stuff like that over there. But there's sometimes that doesn't matter to me, but in this season, it does matter to me. And it affects my mind. So yes, there's a correlation between your mind and physical decluttering. Yes.
All right, we still have some more questions to take, but we're going to take them immediately we return from the break.
All right.
Don't go anywhere.
Are you seeking to clarify your purpose and profit from it? Then, get into the Purpose University this year. A 10-week e-course for people of faith who seek to clarify their purpose and profit from it. The DNA of purpose has been put together to help you understand what purpose is about and discover what your journey of purpose might look like. Register today at yourpurposeu.org, where Bidemi Mark-Mordi would hold your hands to discover your purpose and live powerfully.
In a world filled with many fears and discouragement, life often becomes a burden. For those who know the way, life is just simple. Do not worry, you're not alone on this life's journey, as Bidemi Mark-Mordi shares powerful insights and principles from her everyday work and life experiences in her book, Nevertheless. Nevertheless is a book designed to encourage and equip you to face life with courage, hope, and determination. Get a copy of Nevertheless and other books written by Bidemi Mark-Mordi, like The Wisdom of the Seed, Honor, The Theology of Work, and so much more from a bookstore nearby, or call 080-905-63555 or send an email to bidemi@bidemimarkmordi.com to place your order. I guarantee you will make it. Nevertheless.
You're welcome back to the Nevertheless show, and this is the concluding part of our final episode in the Simplify series. And of course, you still have with me here, BMM. All right, Ma, please.
Hi, John. Yes, this is the concluding part of this particular episode and indeed this series. Before we went on the break, I had shared with you 5 questions to ask and answer when you want to simplify your life. And John did ask me a couple of questions. Before I take John's next set of questions, I want to highlight 4 things for you, or maybe 5 things for you too in this episode. The first one is, do not underestimate the power of a to-do list. Do not underestimate the power of a to-do list. I swear by to-do lists. The thing about to-do list is, and I don't do my to-do list on scraps of paper because it means I will lose them. I do my to-do list and things like this that I can carry along with me. My to-do list from yesterday, I had to move some items to today. But if I had done it on a scrap of paper, I would have lost it. You get the power of a to-do list. Because sometimes overwhelm comes because you have a ton of things to do and you did not schedule them properly. You see? Yeah. So a to-do list allows you to assign timelines to the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So do not underestimate the power of a to-do list if you want to simplify your life. And the way I do my to-do list, I do them in the order of importance, number 1, and in the order of difficulty. Mornings are my most productive times. So if I want to tackle a difficult task, I put it in the morning. So things like call someone is usually at the bottom of my list, unless I sense that conversation is a difficult conversation. Yes? So do not underestimate the power of a to-do list in simplifying your life. Number 2, understand and embrace the power of reflective thinking. You see, that last 5 minutes of your day, or 10 minutes of your day, or 15 minutes of your day, it can only work if you're a reflective thinker. What's a reflective thinker? You run your day through your mind, and you know, in pictures or whatever, to ask yourself, how would I have done this better? How could I have done that better? Reflective thinking.
So I'm not just thinking about the day.
No. Yes, for instance. So, because when you meet that same task the next day, then you have prepared yourself mentally to do it better. Yes. So, embrace the power of reflective thinking. Make it a habit in your life. Number 3, know the power of rest. Know the power of rest. Now, for many people, rest is I'm lying down, I'm doing nothing. For me, rest doesn't quite work that way. Rest is first a mental and a spiritual state for me. Rest is where I have a talk with myself and I counsel myself that God is in charge of my life. That brings me to rest, a place of peace, yes? And then physical rest for me doesn't necessarily mean not doing anything. For me, physical rest means doing the things I love to do. So I can say to you, I'm resting today and I have one more mentoring session to go. Because it helps me just to be able to process things in my mind, helps me. But of course, I know also when rest should mean for me that I'm not taking any calls, I'm not doing anything. My windows are drawn, my room is dark, and I'm just lying down on my bed, even if I can't sleep. So understand the power of rest so that whatever is depleted has brought you to overwhelm, you can quickly work on them. And especially if you're a woman, because of hormonal depletion and everything, rest is critical. And of course, with rest comes a healthy diet. And when I'm talking about a healthy diet, I'm not talking food alone. I'm talking of the things you hear, the things you see, the places you go. Make sure they are pure and clean enough for you so that your spirit or your soul is not polluted. Number 4, a healthy diet. Watch what you eat, watch what you see, watch what you hear, and watch what you say. And be careful where you go. Number 5 will be learn to ask for help. A lot of us don't know how to ask for help. In one of the episodes, I talked about the expression of need. Learn to articulate what you need properly. Ask for help. Ask for help. None of us is strong enough not to ever need help. If I went back to that 2-minute clip of Dangote, there were days Dangote needed help. So what are we saying? Nobody is wealthy enough not to need help. Nobody is smart enough not to need help. So learn how to ask for help. And then this final thing I will say, your life will not simplify itself. You are the one who will simplify your life. So take charge and make up your mind to simplify your life. Do you have questions for me?
Yes, this has been a very, very, emotional journey. Not just for me who is listening, I'm sure for our listeners too. And this will bring me to the first question that I want to ask. In dealing with, things that you're held onto emotionally, in decluttering, there are things that you...
Trauma, past experiences.
How do you deal with such?
I think that 80% of the time we need help. You need a therapist or you need a mind coach or a healing coach.
Okay.
You need that. There was a time where believers didn't think they needed those things.
Therapy and stuff.
Yes, but we do. And if you need one, get one. Make the investment in yourself and get it. But please, if you're getting therapy or whatever it is you're getting, make sure that you are ready to imbibe and embrace the process. Because I do mind healing. What I call my powerful mind retreats.
Yes.
And I find that people show up and they are not ready. If you're not ready for the change and the transformation that can come from those sessions, then don't make the investment. But you need to do that.
Okay. Let me take you on a question that's come from that. For somebody to have paid, to say, I'm paying for this, for example, and they are not ready, it means they thought they were ready.
Yes.
So how do you define who is ready? Or what should I know?
Are you tired enough?
Okay.
Are you tired enough? Because even that healing process, that healing path is a process. And people come without appreciating the work that they need to do to arrive at their healing.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
So they come thinking you will wave a magic
It
wand.
happens like
And then they come
clockwork.
there and you say to them, oh, I have 6 hours of video I need you to watch. They're like, oh my God, this is not what I came from. But because information, knowledge is power. If it has to do with your mind, you must have the right information.
Mm.
Because you can't cast down and not fill it up. Do you
That's true.
see it?
Very true.
So that's why I say you have to be ready.
Mm.
Because people don't recognize that there is a process to it. And they come and then when, they're like, oh, it's too much hard work. No, then quick fixes cannot help you.
Mm.
They may look like they are medicating on the surface,
Yeah.
but they can't do the deep work of healing. That's why I said you must be ready before you show up.
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that response. So I also want to ask another question, which I feel some of our listeners or viewers may have. In this age of, digital everything, information overload and stuff, how can I also digitally declutter? What can I do?
Recently, I subscribed to Yahoo Mail Plus. And the reason I subscribe to Yahoo Mail Plus and I'm paying monthly is because of information overload.
Mm.
There are email and newsletters I get that I did not subscribe to.
Mm.
And sometimes when I see there are 20, 30, even just going through one by one stresses me. And yet every morning when I wake up, I'm filled with emails, and then they subsume the important emails and I don't get to see them. So I subscribe to Yahoo Plus. And subscribing to Yahoo Mail Plus means that I can determine, I just click a button under that says subscription. And then I look through all those ones. If I did not subscribe, I can unsubscribe and you can't add me to that mailing list again.
Mm.
Do you see that?
Yes.
So the point I'm making is find tools. In this digital age, just as there is a huge influx of an overload of this content, there are also tools that help you navigate that overload. So find them. Every phone these days comes equipped with an app that tells you how much time you spend on the phone. Mm. You bought the phone so that the phone will make you efficient, unless all you do is you bought your phone just to take calls. Many of us don't buy phones to take calls anymore. We buy phones for functionality. My children all own laptops, but they do everything on their phone because the phone can do twice the work that laptops can do these days. Yes. But your phone also tells you how long you spend, how much time you spend. Yes. And if you click the app, it will tell you by the different apps how much time you spend. So these days, I spend too much time on WhatsApp because people are always I have windows in which I check my WhatsApp messages now.
Oh, okay.
Do you see it? Yeah. So if this is the window, if my 2 p.m. is my window and I have 10 messages, I'll respond to all of them if I need to. Then I'm not doing that again until 4 or 5.
Next window.
Do you see it? Remember what I said. Your life will not simplify itself. You are the one that will simplify your life. And then talking about pressure from social media and all of that. Every app you can live for a while. Exactly. Every app. Am I lying? No. You can leave Facebook for a while. You can leave Instagram for a while. Anywhere they are pressing your neck, leave.
Jump away.
Exactly. If everybody looks like, they have their life together, which by the way is a lie. I promise you is a lie. Mm. And just watching them makes you feel overwhelmed. Then it is time to step away. I have a rule. If you put pressure on me on Facebook, I will snooze you. I will snooze you for 30 days. If after 30 days, I feel I've not had enough break from you, I will snooze you for another 30 days. And after another 30 days, I will block you. I don't have a problem. On my WhatsApp, I don't do unsolicited. Even if you're my friend, if I don't have your number, and if you want to reach me, do a text message. If you send me a WhatsApp message, it will earn you a blocking. Especially if you attach something to it, because I don't have that time. On top of that, my WhatsApp is set to never automatically download anything. Whether it's a picture, is a video, is an audio, my WhatsApp does not automatically. I've set up gatekeepers. Something only comes into my purview if I allow it to come. So take advantage of those things. If email now can tell you, you can just decide, oh no, certain kinds of email now. My Yahoo email box doesn't get, a day I will get 200 emails. For what? These days I sparingly get 10. Decluttering. Technology is overwhelming, I know. But for everything that technology is giving us, they've also given us a capacity, to manage and deal with it. The question is, will you take it?
Okay, so we have just one final question before we wrap up the episode. So this is for someone who has been, listening from episode 1, episode 2. Now we're in the final episode, and they've been trying to do this decluttering thing, this unclutter, simplify their lives, and they're finding it hard, or it's becoming an overwhelming process for them. Is there any advice or tip or counsel you can give to such a person?
They can engage my services. If you really feel overwhelmed and you're losing yourself, I have a product called the Rediscovering Your Essence Life Coaching. Sign up for that. It's high profile, it's high ticket, but it is very effective. Yes. So you can do that. There's my Powerful Mind Retreat, where the cluttering needs to happen only in the mind. You can take advantage of that as well. But more importantly, I think that if you go through my website and even the YouTube channel, there's a lot of resources that can help you. And a ton of books I've written, 25 books. You can always find help. But if all of these seem too out of reach for you, then reach out, lean on the person closest to you, okay? Lean on the person closest to you. We're not configured to do life alone. So when you find yourself in places like this one, make sure you find someone to lean on.
All right.
Do not attempt to do it by yourself.
All right. So just in case you're wondering, there are a lot of resources she has mentioned. Where do I find this? You can simply visit our website, bidemimark.com, and you'll find the relevant links to any of these resources that would help you get on your way. All right. So it's been a very, very, very impactful series.
And it's a wrap.
Yes.
Yes. So next month, if Jesus starts, we'll be back with another set of series and episodes on the Nevertheless Show. Remember that the Nevertheless Show is a show for organic leaders and leaderpreneurs. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the podcast services that you have. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, just so that you never miss an episode. But also, most importantly, please share. If this resource has been a blessing to you, please share. And don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you so much. Remember that when you discover purpose, you will lead a powerful life. Thank you, John, for being a great help in this series.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. More with you.
Same here. Amen.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nevertheless. For more information and resources, call 080-90563-555 or send an email to bidemi@bidemimark-mordi.com. Don't forget, discovering your purpose helps you live more powerfully.